Hi everyone, it's Carrie, aka Nerdygirlcreates. Welcome to my channel, and tonight we are having a live stream. And joining me tonight, I have Laura Grace and I have Marge, right?
Mark. Yep.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
Hi.
So, Laura, do you have anything new coming on your channel?
I do. I have the Full Metal Alchemist.
Go on. I just lost you.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, but yes, I do. I have my Full Metal Alchemist review coming out this Friday, and I'm super stoked. I just saw tonight, literally, probably like an hour ago, of the Netflix live action, and I'm very excited because I am totally Team Scar. So that's probably like the big thing that I have coming up this week.
And you know, the guy who plays Scar is also going to be Zorro in the live action.
I didn't know that. Oh my goodness. Like, I swear when I was watching it, I was like, if I was an emoji right now, I would be the starry-eyed emoji. I was like, I can't even. And so I didn't look at reviews. I was like, hopefully it's really good and doesn't stink. Because I was like, I will be so heartbroken if they did my favorite character wrong in this manga. Like anime, or live action. Anyway, but I did not know that. Oh, I want to see even more now, like knowing that.
Yeah, and I got a little other tidbit. I don't know if anybody's like a big old school Japanese martial art film fan. His dad, the actor, is Sonny Chiba, who was like a big. Yeah, you should look him up. He's like a big, huge martial artist back in like the era of Bruce Lee. He was like always plays samurai, and he was even in Kill Bill. He was the guy who made the katana for her.
Wow.
So he's like, yeah, you check out his movies. They're pretty cool. And I'm going to screw it up again. Marge, what do you got coming up?
Well, I'm kind of in a transition period on my, not Instagram. I'm always on Instagram, but on YouTube, we had our last reading sprint for the Manga Club, and we're taking a break from that. And I think I'm going to start filming regular videos again. So
awesome.
You can look forward to that. Nice. And I've got some stuff coming up in October that I can't really talk about, but you know, so look forward to that.
And also joining us is Mr. Otaku N Training. How are you doing?
Doing good. And glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
You got anything new happening on your channel?
Right now, I'm just kind of, I would say developing taste, because when I first started, I kind of loved everything and pushed almost everything I read. It's like, this is awesome. But then I started noticing things kind of being repetitive. It's like, okay, isekai, same tropes. And now I'm kind of saying what makes these stories great, and that's what I'm trying to do for my next videos.
That's awesome. Really cool. So we're here. We're going to talk about some topics that came up this week. And the first one is, I know some of us have not finished reading My Hero Academia. Otaku, have you gotten to read the recent chapter of My Hero Academia?
I actually did a quick recap, so I didn't get all the way, but it's fine. I'm not gonna. I think I'm gonna wait till the box set gets there. But my memory is so bad, I'm probably gonna forget the spoilers. So
that's all right. So yeah, we're gonna spoil it. So if you don't want to hear the spoil, it's gonna happen. So, if you've been reading it, everybody's in a big, huge fight with All for One, and during this, what's his name? Oh God, Bakugo is trying to hold off All for One while his friend comes flying in, Midori, and unfortunately, Midori's stuck somewhere else. So Bakugo's fighting and ends up getting killed.
Goodness, like.
So Bakugo is allegedly dead.
Now, was this the guy that looks like a grenade? I'm trying to remember the names.
He was always fighting with Midori.
Wow.
Or Deku. I'm gonna call him Deku.
He seemed like an MC, so that's huge.
He put up a good fight too, so it was kind of like. But I think because the merger between All for One and that other guy, Shinjiko, God, the one he's been grooming. Yeah. He's merged bodies with him, so he's got now like ultimate power. Meanwhile, poor Shoto is fighting his brother over at the side with his dad.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. So it's like, yeah, he ends up, I think he did something to his heart because the gene guy comes over to check him and then realizes like something, his heart has been completely like obliterated. And I'm like, okay, so we have like our second major death, probably the biggest death so far of My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
So the question is he really dead?
Oh, it is comics, so it's somewhat a
They're
superhero
never
movie.
I know it's a superhero, and given the creators' influence from Marvel, this could be
yeah, they're not dead.
something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen to revive them.
Exactly.
I think that'd be so shocking if he stayed dead. Like, especially since I heard it's in the final arc.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, such a big character, and his growth from the beginning of like, oh my goodness, I hated his guts so much. He's so mean. And like for him to grow and change, it's like, I mean, out of all the characters, like, why was he the chosen one to die, so to speak? So, but from I mean, I don't know how it happened, but I did see that Genus is back, and where I had last thought before I sort of like am loosely catching up that he was dead, and so I'm like, well, he came back. I'm like, if Genus can come back, I'm like, surely Bakugo will come back. But somebody made a reference that maybe, I won't say the character's name, but maybe this is a similar situation, different but similar, in how Luffy lost somebody very close to him, and it was like the leveling up he needed to fight the battle that he was in. But I don't know, that was a different situation altogether, but I did see where they were coming from, and I was just like, but why Bakugo to be so iconic and be the one that doesn't make it?
I think if it does go with your theory, like with the Luffy thing, because Bakugo has grown and he has shared Deko's secret for the longest time, and they both idolized One for All, and knowing like that, you know, Deko's the one who could probably take out All for One, and sacrificing himself will buy him enough time to get there.
Yeah.
Have they done the typical, like, the character arc? You know how normally when people die, they do that whole backstory and then do a character arc real quick, and then
Not yet, because it literally was at the very end where Genus confirmed Bakugo's dead, so it might happen in the next chapter.
Okay.
I'm curious. Yeah, that's a good point. Usually they have that, and then you're like, you love that character even more than you did before they died.
Thanks a lot.
I know, it's like the Luffy backstory one. I was like,
yes. Oh my goodness, yes.
But I think they also did so much backstory with Bakugo early on in the series. I don't know if they'd do it again.
That's
they
true.
might recap.
Yeah. Typical.
But the Genus thing, I think he pretended to be dead with Hawk's help because Hawk had infiltrated.
Okay. That makes more sense then, because I was like, he came back. I was like, that shows how far behind I am. I've loosely kept up since then, but I like this is quite the development.
Yeah, it's getting like on like major like Marvel arc type stuff right now in My Hero Academia. If you're familiar with comic books, it's going for like the big crisis event.
Okay.
Like the world is at stake and everybody's like, anything goes wrong, everything ends type stuff.
Oh no.
Shoot, we are. I was actually able to get the box set when it was 106, so I was pretty happy about that. But I still gotta wait, I think maybe a couple more months.
Yeah, I just jumped on the Bleach box set 3. I'm still waiting for 2.
With these things, you just gotta get them when they're available. I've learned that.
What's funny is because, like Laura, I'm a big One Piece fan. Every time the One Piece box set was back in stock, I was like, why can't you wait 2 more days to payday?
Oh my goodness, yes.
It's like, oh, it's 2 days before payday, and you suddenly have it.
It's like, a manga alert's like, hey guys, hope you got yours.
I know. I'm like, no, I didn't. And you know, he's right back. I'm sorry. Wow. Well, speaking of anime, like Kaju number 8, anybody been reading that?
Yes. Not digitally, but I'm on volume 3. I just finished it.
Same here.
Still really liking it.
Yes.
And the fact that you have somebody that deconstructed or chopped up these bodies, and then he's using that knowledge to apply it in future fights, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
I kind of like that he's also an older antagonist.
Yes.
Because you always get like the teenager. So you got the guy who's always wanted to be something great and it never worked out, and suddenly, unexpectedly, he gets it.
Yes.
Yep.
So, well, they announced that they're going to do an anime. They don't know the release date yet, but I am hoping it's good.
Do they know what studio yet, or?
That's what I was checking. I don't think they know what studio yet. They just announced.
I'm hearing Disney picking up these things. That's what makes me worry and ask now.
Yes.
Yeah. When I heard about Bleach might be streaming on Disney, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
That's how it starts. Everyone's like, "What's the matter?" It's like, you'll see."
Is it coming from the comic book side?
Yeah.
The comic book and Star Wars side, let me tell you. Yeah, no, it doesn't have it. Just Viz Media announced that it's going to be adapted, but no date yet. But I think it could be really cool if they have a really good studio working behind it.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm excited.
I think it's like an interesting take on kaiju.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys watch the like anime trailer of sorts? Did any of you guys watch it? Because it's all in Japanese. I honestly thought it was a live action because all of it looked so real. Like, I think it is actual, like, real life. And I was like, I thought there was supposed to be an anime announcement, but then it looked just like a live action.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know that was a trailer.
I've seen some of seen manga trailers, but not for that one.
Well, the one link you sent, Carrie, has it, but I'm not going to click it because I'll play sound if I click it. But I'm pretty sure if I think that's the one, but it looked really cool the way they set it up, despite my massive confusion. And maybe that was just the time I watched it. I haven't seen it since then to know if it's any different. Like I said, it was just you're excited for the announcement and you're like totally miss what's going on, so to speak. You guys know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I do that. I skip read around and find the information. I'm like, wait, huh? And then I have to go back and read the whole thing. I'm like,
or you get the click the link to see here, and you click it, and it's just like a commercial advertisement. You're like, wait a minute, did I not click the right link?
Yeah, and you're like looking.
Yes,
it's like
too many ads.
Too many ads. Too many ads.
I saw that this one little meme where it shows every time you click on the link and Apple takes you to the store rather than the link. I'm like, yes, I get that all the time.
It's like, where am I now?
Yeah.
It's like, go back. But I think that and another one just got announced before I came on was The Witch and the Beast is going to get an anime.
I've seen that around a lot. I just haven't seen it.
It's pretty good. It's kind of dark, but they kind of like switch it up that the Beast is actually the girl character and the magic user's the guy, and they team up to take down evil witches. And the girl who's the Beast is looking for revenge on a certain witch.
Check that one out.
Yeah, I think it's only up to volume 8. I don't know if there's going to be any more. I have to check. I haven't finished reading them all. But it's pretty good. That's another one I'd like to see who's going to do the anime because it's got a really unique like art design to it.
Yeah, I saw. I don't know when it's releasing, but I know. Was it The Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts? That anime just dropped.
Oh wow!
I don't know who's doing that. Mark, do you by chance know? I don't know if you follow that. I know you're reading the series, but I don't know.
I haven't looked into the anime yet.
What's it called?
So good. The Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. Yeah, I was very I told myself after I read Young of the Dawn, I'm like, we're reading that manga next because I was like, I love the animation style and it just looked like it really, from what I've seen of the covers, it brings the story to life. So,
Young of the Dawn is another one I wish they continue the anime.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing too. And I'm surprised it hasn't. I mean, with how popular that anime is, why isn't there a second season? I don't even
know. I'm still holding out hopes for it because of how popular it is. But yeah, it stopped right in the middle before all the cool stuff starts happening. And you're like, okay, because, well, I don't want to spoil it because
that's fine.
Right now. But
my brother was mad.
okay, well, they got everyone together. You know,
Oh
what are we
my
gonna
It's
do
like they're
now?
getting ready, and then that's where it
Yeah.
stops.
Like-
You're like,
I'm like, you're missing the good part.
Yeah. Oh,
Is that the one that looks like Snow White with red hair on the cover?
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So my wife and I love that one, and I've been looking for other shows like that or manga that's similar, because anything
Yeah.
that she wants to read too, I'm like, yes, here I'll get
Yeah.
all of it.
I highly recommend that then. Yeah.
Yeah, especially like
Um,
my brother doesn't like the romantic anime stuff, but he likes that because it goes more into being a shonen at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
got
was kind of
everything.
mad. He was like, "What happened? When's the next season?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't think there is going to be one." He's like, "Why?"
Typical
Yeah.
JoJo.
Talking about Yona, I literally was reading it before like we started.
Those
They're like a
volumes are hard to
placker.
get.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Volume 4 I checked out from my library, but 2 people have it on hold before me, and it doesn't come out till October 4th, and I mean in October. And I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna buy it digitally, even though I'm like, this is the only volume I don't have physically. But at least it's getting a little easier to find since they're doing all the reprints for it. So that's been I felt bad because I told my husband, I was like, I just sort of unexpectedly found myself buying the volumes as they came in. So he's like, what's this $10 charge? There's like 3 of them. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I didn't want to miss out getting the reprints. So.
It's Yona. I couldn't help it.
I know.
I couldn't find them all at the same place, so Barnes and Noble, we got Right Stuff and
Oh my gosh. I did that with Haikyuu. I was like, Right Stuff, Barnes and Noble, and Second and Charles all in the same day. And I'm like, yes, I got them all.
Yay!
It was like a treasure hunt. I'm like, yay, finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel, and we were talking about this last week, Nick and I, like, there's like certain volumes that are always out of stock, and it's like a weird volume.
Yeah.
It's never like one. It's like with One Punch Man, I'm still trying to collect between 17 and I think 21.
Yeah.
And I can never find those.
Yes.
They're always out of stock. I'm like, why? What is there
Yeah.
something great that happens in that?
Yeah.
they were actually out there for like the longest, and it was like 1 through 10 was out for the longest last year. Now finally it's swapped. Everything that was available is gone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like the end I can get and like the beginning, the 1 through 10, and then I was lucky to get a couple on Target, but then like that one little section.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
insane. It's like, why?
I gotta say, I love the art, and I really was surprised when I went from anime to manga. I'm like, this looks very good. And after the last thing I watched was season 2, I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
Well, did you hear season 3? They're going to Mappa.
Yes, I saw that. I was like,
That's
yes.
a good thing.
Oh,
Yes. I was like, thank you.
Yes. And I will say my husband said the same thing. We watched season 2 and he's been keeping up with the new chapters on Shonen Jump, and he's like, the art is just so incredibly like crisp and really good. So yeah, I'm encouraged to know that Mappa is doing the 3rd season. Like, I feel better about that myself.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, I am waiting for a whole bunch of like anime coming from them, especially Chainsaw Man, because I love Chainsaw Man.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah.
so speaking of stuff coming out, Otaku, you were looking at the Kodansha fall releases. You wanted to talk about a few of them.
Oh yeah, there's one. What was it? The PTSD. It's supposed to be a horror manga, and I was looking at a couple of reviews. This guy was kind of likening it to who does Spiral again? Hold on one second.
Oh, Ito?
Jinji Ito. Yeah. So it's like actually a horror manga that's not produced by him. All right, let me check it out. It's basically an anthology of different stories of creepy things that happen to people in this one town. Apparently, there was a ancient shrine to a god that was destroyed, and now this ancient god is seeking revenge throughout the town. And it really works on your paranoia. And
nice.
The guy said you'll be reading things and you'll swear stuff on the page moves. And I'm like, I'm very interested in this. I don't like horror manga, but I want to check that out.
That does sound really good. And what was it called?
Was it PTSD Radio?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's the one that looks like a face, or it looks like the Necronomicon.
Yeah. Like a radio. Yes, it does. That's exactly what I thought when I saw that. I'm like, is that the Necronomicon? It's like, no.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. A lock of hair is a token to a loved one. Okay, yeah. that looks creepy, just the cover.
It does.
I am so in.
The one that really got me, and maybe it's because I come from a comic book background, is the Go-Go Loser Ranger.
Yes.
Yeah,
That was, yes.
I like the whole idea of the villains and the hero being switched around.
Yeah.
Me too.
Heard a lot of comparisons to the boys.
Yeah, somebody was saying that to me too. I kind of like it makes fun of Power Rangers in a way. Like the Power Rangers.
I used to watch that back in the day.
Me too.
I watched it way too long.
Oh yeah, we would play Power Rangers in the front yard, and
Yep.
I was one of those kids.
Yeah, I remember when it came on, my brother and I was thinking, this is stupid. And then like 4 hours later, Mom's like, you're still watching it?
It's like, it's so stupid, but I can't stop watching it.
Yes.
And I don't know why they changed the title, because I read somewhere as Reject Ranger, and I was like, I like that title better.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that better.
Yeah, when I was looking, when they were first announcing that they were going to print it, I think it was called Reject Ranger. And then for some reason they changed it. I guess because they want familiarity with Power Rangers.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, how can you not and see that cover? I mean,
yeah,
that's obviously Power Rangers.
Yeah. I was surprised that it's the same creator as the quintessential quintuplets. I was like, oh, all right.
I would have never guessed unless you just said that, Marg.
I know, me neither. I was reading it in the little clip here, and I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I did really like it. After I saw the first anime, I started actually going into reading it online, and then kind of skipped to the end. It was like, I'm impatient, so.
Don't spoil it. I'm still reading it.
No.
I just got the first 7 from somebody off Dispatch, and I read the first volume, and I was like, it's interesting. I want to keep going to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Is there any other ones in?
I was kind of disappointed by Shuzo Oshimi's new one. I'm like, really? Come on. I want more like blood on the tracks, happiness stuff. I want to get away from the weird, like sexual stuff that he's been doing lately. I'm just like, dude, no, I want the psychological thriller stuff, not this, member obsessed girl that paints it all over stuff. I'm like, what? I'm like, what?
Oh man. Well, I guess if you need something wholesome, In the Clear Moonlit Dusk is really good. I read that last year or earlier this year when it was digital only, and very excited that's coming out to print, because I feel like that's a very unique shoujo manga to have a more masculine looking female, but she's she is a female and that is her identity and stuff, but it's just interesting seeing her be called Prince, but she's like feminine but not feminine. It's hard to describe, but it's just like, it's not your typical shoujo story. So
it's a nice twist on like a shoujo.
Yes.
It reminded me of Oran when I saw the cover. It was the main character kind of looks like her. I'm like,
yes, and I love your box setup right there. By the way, I was like,
thank
you.
Awesome. I know. I was like,
trying to make it look like a hoarder, right? But there was another one that kind of caught my eyes. That Shonen Note, where you have a choir boy who basically goes through his voice changing, and I was like, that can be pretty detrimental. I mean, but honestly, that what first came to mind was The Simpsons, where you get a flashback of Homer singing in choir. His dad's all cheering him on. It's like, I'm gonna be rich, and then his voice changes and can't sing worth the beans. And like, so I was like, that's got to be interesting, because it's gonna show maybe he's gonna be going to baritone or something, or what's gonna be going on. But a lot of the lists I saw on there was a lot of stuff. I was like, okay, I've seen this, I've kind of seen this, and a lot of I think Miss Mia Zen was one that I saw too. It's kind of the same thing we've seen. Pretty girl goes after the scary kid and all that. It's like, we've seen that time and time again. Let's change it up a bit. How about we go to the future where, hey, I ran into the old class rebel, and now he's broke or whatever. I mean, he just saved my life. He's got nowhere to live. But give me that kind of story.
I know there's a lot of like time travel to the past. I just finished Tokyo Revengers Volume 1, and I'm like, I heard it falls off. Is this true? I don't know if anybody's gotten further.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I haven't read it, but I do know somebody that was a hardcore fan of the series, and they felt that basically because it was doing so popular, suddenly they just added on an arc that's not even remotely related.
Ah,
So
filler.
Filler.
yeah, so they're like, I don't know what spot it is, but she's like, if you can just read up to this one point, she says that then it's perfect. Like, don't read past that one point. But I don't know what point it is I'd have to ask her. But because I wondered the same thing, and I was like, well, I know she is a huge Tokyo Revenge fan, and yeah, she said she was so crushed that she's like, it's like they just didn't even care for the characters at that point. So.
Oh man!
I waited to watch your video. I'm gonna crack this thing open and then I'm gonna watch your video, Carrie.
You gotta also you got the Barnes and Noble one. You gotta let me know how that because I heard rumors about the quality on that. You gotta let me know.
That was
right. I think I was hearing about that.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know.
Okay.
Actually, it does feel kind of it's kind of thin. Actually, now that I look at it.
Can we talk about the cover on, was it Shangri-La Frontier?
Oh.
That is totally Rivali from Zelda.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, a new Zelda. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's not Rivali.
But it looks like it, though.
It does. Bluebird with like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Dad Needs to Talk actually recommended that one to me, and I completely forgot about that one. But that one I'm actually really looking forward to. It's got elements of solo leveling and a little bit of Sword Art Online, the good part, I guess. But it basically starts off with just a young guy who's obsessed with playing horrible video games, and that's his life. And he gets introduced like to the top tier games. Like, okay, I'll change it up. And it's basically him going to this, and he's basically going on hard mode. I'm interested in it. It's got an anime coming out too that I'm pretty interested in.
Wow.
Nice. Speaking of Dad Needs to Talk, he says pretty much the start of this final arc of the series is where people got upset with Tokyo Revengers.
Okay.
Final arc.
Oh.
Okay, so skip final arc. Skip final arc.
My wallet will thank everyone.
Man, talking about the box set earlier, did anybody know that they were doing a Rent-A-Girlfriend box set? I knew.
No.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
I just looked and I was like, okay. I knew Sweat and Soap was getting one.
Yeah.
And then
I pre-ordered one.
I didn't know Miss Nagatoro was getting one too.
Really?
Yeah. I would have waited.
Yeah, well, and goodness. And then they got a whole bunch of omnibus that are coming out.
Yeah.
Noragami's getting an omnibus.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to collect Noragami forever.
Yes, I got number 2 because I always saw it empty, and now 3's gone. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait. I've got so much to catch up on.
See, that's the only reason I haven't bought the physical copies of Black Clover. I'm praying they do a box set.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that we're finally getting a Dissolving Classroom hardcover to go with all my other Junji Ito hardcover editions. It's like good because they came out with the Cat Diary finally. They got a hardcover of that one. And I'm like, all right, come on, Dissolving Classroom, let's go. And then they announced it like a couple months later. I'm like, good, finally.
Okay, that makes more sense because I was like, why? Because I know somebody has shared about what it's about. Maybe it was you or somebody else. But I was like, why? I don't see anybody ever talk about that Junji Ito. Manga. So that makes so much more sense.
True.
Yeah, I feel like that's like one of the first ones that was released here. I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but I've seen that ever since I started collecting manga. And so, yeah, I feel like that's an older one.
Okay.
Yeah, the No Longer Human though, that's interesting because Junji Ito did his like a rendition of that, I guess. And now we're getting it from I don't know who this other person is because it doesn't let you click on it. So
I was gonna click on it. So I'm glad that you said it because I was like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it's different. Was it Osamu something who was the original? I don't know if that's even a manga or not. So didn't know that was coming out.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Well, you know which box set I won't be backing is that Chainsaw Man one from BAM.
No, thank you.
I'm glad I collected all the individual issues on that one. I was like, how many volumes in that?
Yeah, I got it. I got most of it on the Right Stuff birthday sale. So, or it was a Viz sale, I think, before the birthday sale or something.
Yeah.
I had a fit when I saw it. I was like, are you kidding me? And some people were pushing back against it. I was like, well, I don't want them to think this is okay. Let's just throw some generic art on a box, and that's called that a box set. It's like, no, make them try harder.
Yeah, they did that with Summertime Rendering too.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen it. What does it look like?
Box that's like paper thin.
Yeah,
and everyone was mad about it. And
I was taking the book out of it, and it just kind of like, I'm like, screw it.
Yeah.
My friend Bianca's in the chat.
It's interesting to see, like you guys were saying, of Otaku N Training. I think it was you was mentioning how these all look very similar, and there's so much isekai. I'm like, I love some isekai now, but I'm like, it is a little bit disheartening when like there doesn't seem a lot of like original titles. Where they all like the covers look very similar, and you can just go over them. You're like, oh, I've seen this before. So it is.
What's that? You got Wand and Magic that's basically Mashal, and you have that Ice Sorcerer or whatever in Sword. I'm like, that's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Let's see, what was it?
Okay,
I swear there was
apparently
another
that
one.
No Longer Human thing is a manga set that's really out of print, and I guess they're reprinting them.
Oh wow!
I saw that somewhere. I'm gonna go get that.
The only other one in here that slightly interests me is that An Older Guy's VR First Love.
I was looking at the cover's sort of pretty for that.
Yeah. It doesn't match the description at all.
It doesn't look like when I saw VR and he was 40, I was like, well, where's the 40-year-old man in the
He likes to play women.
Manga?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, I don't know.
No. Slightly interesting, but I don't know if enough to buy.
Yeah. Let's see. What was the other thing?
I will be picking up Breaker 4, though.
Yes. Yeah.
The Breaker.
The Breaker, basically, I've been describing it as basically Naruto meets Karate Kid. And you got go ahead.
It's as if you got Cobra Kai before you got the Karate Kid, because his mentor's more like Johnny than he is. Mm-hmm. But it's set in Korea. So.
Actually, yeah.
It's like a combo of Johnny Lawrence and Bruce Lee.
Probably best. I think that was all of them that was even remotely interesting for me.
Yeah, there wasn't too many. I'm not really interested in expanding on the Blam universe.
Yeah, I'm looking at the previews, and man, the art is just not my thing. Like, Blam looks really cool, but whatever this noise is, I'm like, it's noise, I guess. It's not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm. I saw a video, just somebody had went through the whole noise. I guess this is a reprint, but somebody went through it, and they had heavy metal in the background. I was like, hey, I can get behind watching this, because it's Dye Dark is better as far as the art and everything goes. But I was like, I think I can read this and enjoy it. But I heard a lot of mixed reviews on it. Like, some people will read it once and not understand what's going on, and they'll read it again and again after the third time. Like, oh, I get it.
My friend Geek Detective, speaking of box sets, I mentioned to Nerdy Girl that I got acquainted to a classic title from Clamp.
Magic Knight Rayearth?
Yeah.
That's the only box set I know for that one, but that box set, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, that box set, just for the art book alone, I was talking about with somebody in a Discord, and we all agreed, like, it is worth the price just for the art books alone. It is such beautiful, well done. I mean, I was not like a huge Clamp fan before, and that's just because I was ignorant and didn't read anything before then, but it really, like, I mean, the bigger size, I mean, you can just appreciate every single little detail that Clamp does in all of their work. So very good. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a gushing spree there.
that's okay.
Nostalgia.
Yes. Yeah.
Speaking of box sets, besides me with Black Clover, does anybody have a series they wish they would do a box set for?
Thank you. Sorry. Sorry. I mean, I just got the final volume for my own collection. The box set in Japan, I'm like, I have never ever thought I just want to buy the box. But I'm like, I would literally buy the box just for the box if somebody would sell it. Like, keep the manga, but give me the box. Like, so perfect.
I'm sure there's somebody out there that would do that.
Yeah, just check eBay.
I am so afraid to look because I'm like, I'm willing to drop some money on that box set. I'm like, I don't even know where I'd put it, but it's just the fact that I'm like, I can see the box and have the box.
Yeah.
So
on that note, Yona.
Yes.
I would buy just the box to put all mine in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd say for me, it'd be Dead Man Wonderland because I've been trying to find each volume, but I see the schedules coming out where they're going to reprint almost everything.
Oh, good.
But I'm like, come on.
It's so good.
I didn't even know that one was hard to find right now. I didn't even know that.
It's been a pain. I think I finally just got number 2 and 4, waiting on 3.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's like weird. Like I just got into Call of the Night. I can find every volume but 2.
Yeah. I was having trouble with that one, but 4.
Oh my goodness.
So it's volume 2. I'll have to write that down. Keep a lookout.
Yeah. I was everywhere. It's like Right Stuff. It's sold out, but all the other ones are available. I'm like, you make no sense.
Yeah, I'm starting to see a pattern because I saw that all the time, and then I finally found Call of the Night Volume 1, and just as you said that, now Call of the Night Volume 2 is gone because they started reprinting it. So we should start seeing Volume 3 go. So I would say pick that one up now before that one reprints.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do like what I did with One Punch Man, just purchase out of order.
Yeah. I hate doing that, but sometimes like, you know what? I'm just going to do it.
It's like, just don't look inside. Just put it on the bookshelf.
I just saw your shirt, Carrie. I love it. And
Chainsaw.
Oh, cool.
I got the other one.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Mine says I need a vacation.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. I think we can all agree with that.
I just have a unicorn on my shirt, so I don't have anything cool. Sorry. Or as cool, I should say.
It was this or a Brock shirt, but then I was like, I want to save the Brock shirt for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just love that Brock shirt. It looks like a rock concert t-shirt. So let's see. What else is going on? I know, Otaku, you wanted to talk about that Twitter thing.
Oh, gosh. Whether we're hoarding or we're collecting, that I would say it was Midnight Roboto just put out a post. It's like, we really need to talk about whether you guys are actually collecting these things and reading them or you're just hoarding them. And that sparked a lot of controversy. Everybody had an opinion on that, and some people were basically kind of white knighting it. Like, no, people should be able to buy what they want. I was like, yeah, I get that, and I think he agrees with that, but that's not what he was trying to do. He was just trying to tell a joke. I jumped in there myself and did that little Penny meme where she's playing video games. She's like, oh my god, I have a problem. But he had messaged me and said, hey, thanks for being basically the only one who knew that was a joke. And I was like, yeah, no problem. And I just can't understand everybody else doesn't see it that way. But then again, I'm always posting stuff like that.
They were like, yes, it's so true. People just go out and hoard all these things. And I'm like, no. Did you not get the sarcasm?
That's why I changed my name to Hoarder in Training and went ahead and basically been calling everybody hoarders and been going on with that theme. So it's been pretty fun.
Oh my god. There's crazy stuff on Twitter all the time. Like I forgot who the creator was. It was a mangaka. They got mad at her for reading a BL manga because she wasn't LGBT.
Yeah.
And you saw that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I was like, they got her so upset she ended up apologizing. I'm like,
don't apologize. Yeah, they're over here like, stay in your lane. And like, no. She can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Twitter, I'm like, no, I'm just go over there for the announcements, for manga and stuff.
Yeah.
It's scary over there.
I go in there to talk to my friends and promote my channel. Or maybe once in a while, just kind of make fun of somebody for saying something extremely stupid. But
that'll be me. No, I'm constantly on there just shit posting. Sorry, my language. Just posting just nonsense and just seeing what kind of rise I can get out of people. But everybody knows this. I'm saying it just to be funny. Trying to be funny. Dad jokes.
I know, it's It's crazy on there. So, any other topics that we talk about, or do you want to talk about our top 5 crushes?
Oh, are we doing crushes or couples?
Couples, sorry. Couples. That was last week, Carrie. Coffee's worn off.
You scared me. I'm like, well, some of these could be crushes, I guess.
You just need to follow my Instagram to know who mine is.
Did you see that I tagged you in some pins about Law? I was like, I don't even know if she wants this, but I was like, I'm just gonna get on it because I was like, I'll encourage her love for Law through the pins.
I know it's like what's Jacob from Meet the Weed Family? He's like post like one of like something like one of your hottest items, and I did the Law picture.
Yeah.
And he sends me a message. Why am I not surprised? It's like you said.
Yeah.
Told me to.
So who wants to go first?
I can go with my number 5, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how familiar you are with the Eminence in Shadow. Basically, isekai. It starts off really boring. It only picks up in the middle of the volume. I almost dropped it, but when main character meets a princess in the school that he's attending, basically she's about to get married off to some guy unless she's like with somebody, and they kind of strike up a deal. He wants to just stay in the shadows. He doesn't want to be known. He wants to live this mundane life because he wants to be that guy that's there, but he's an eminence in shadow. He's controlling things. So she's good for cover right now. It's like, yeah, I can just be with her. And she was like, okay, and I'll just give you money, and you can be the reason why I'm not getting married to this guy. And they hate each other so much. It's you ever seen those couples? You just you feel bad, but you love to see them fight. That's kind of what it is. like she wants him to do something, and he's like refusing, and she goes, "Oh, I'll just give you money." It's like, you think you could just buy me? You know it. But it ends with them kind of her trying to realizing that she actually is kind of developing a crush on him, and says, maybe we can make this arrangement go on a little longer. And it pans to him. He goes, no way, and he gives her the double birds, and she knocks him off a building.
Oh my goodness!
So
it sounds so fun.
So, like I say, it was boring as hell the first part of that volume, but after that I was like, yeah, I can enjoy it for these two. You show me more of these two, then I'm sold.
Yeah, I love like the enemies to lovers kind of thing.
Yeah,
that is so my cup of tea. I can't even tell you why though. I just love it. I don't know,
it's fun.
Yeah, pure fun.
All right, you want to go next, Marge?
Sure. So we're starting with number 5.
Yeah.
Okay, my couple. Oh, I don't even know their names. Hold on. Oh yeah. Okay. Are these two from Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight? It's what's her name? Hinata and Kade, or it's spelled Kaede. I just call them Kade because I don't know how to say that. But they are so fun. They're so cute and adorable, and I just love them so much. It's basically about. He is, yeah. And he's so fun. And a lot of people drop this because he's got like this butt fetish. It's just a dude that likes girls' butts. And I'm like, that's just a normal thing. That's not a fetish.
Yeah.
And I find it completely hilarious. So I absolutely love it. I love the mangaka because she does these little chibi characters in here sometimes. And it's just a riot. So I really like it. I like their back and forth. It's wholesome. It's cute. It's funny. And I just love them. I just love them together. And he's he's a movie star, and he used to be like a pop star too. And she's just a normal high school student, and just shenanigans and fun ensue. So I love them. They're cute.
I still need to see if my library ever picked up the second volume of that. Yeah.
This would be a good one as a box set too, because I think there's 11 or 12 volumes, so this would be like a nice little box set.
Yeah.
Hominus is funny.
But a lot. Yeah. I mean, he collects like action figures with girls that, you know, he looks up their skirt and you know, it's just normal like nude stuff. And people are like, oh, gross. You know, I'm like, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, especially her reactions. Because I think in the first volume, they go to like a vending machine and he's like, you gotta hold her like, too.
Yeah. I was trying to see if I can find one of the parts because it's just absolutely hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. I should have like marked it because it's just funny. It's all good and fun. Yeah. But yeah.
Let's check that one out.
By the way, guys, I see you in the comments. Don't forget to hit like, share, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Laura, do you have a number 5?
I do, and I felt pretty good that I was able actually to say I had number 5 because I was like, I don't know, it's like
I know she was a little concerned.
I'll say for my number 5, I'm gonna say Shirayuki and Zen from Snow White with the Red Hair because I feel like this was like, I mean, this is probably the second series. I haven't finished reading it, but I'd say like the second couple that I ever like super hardcore shipped, and I was like, they're so adorable. So I feel like they have a special place in my heart, even though I confess I'm like only back on volume 4, and there's like what 20 volumes now, Mark? Is that right?
Yeah.
So super behind, but I really love them, and it's so sad because I'm like I got to the part right where they kissed, and I'm like I don't know why I stopped. I'm like, Laura, you got what you wanted. Why would you stop after seeing your ship sail? So, but they're very wholesome, very cute little beings. I gotta catch up. I need to be up there with you more because you're all the way at the end.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Volume 19 was it just blew a whole bunch of people away because you're either really happy. Well, first you were really happy and then you were really mad.
Oh no.
And it was just, I still love it, but I'm just like, really? This is what we're doing? I'm like, okay. No. But yeah, it's so good.
Well, have you read volume 20? Because I know Meet the Weeb Family Mom, she didn't love volume 20. Like, she liked it, but she was talking about the ships in the manga, and I'm not that far ahead. I mean, I only got the one ship currently, but I was like, don't mess with the ship. Just let it be smooth sailing.
Yeah. I think that's not the main ship. It's a secondary ship.
Okay. Well, that's good. Because I think that's the only hard thing I have with Yona of the Dawn when reading it is I'm like, I think of them and how sweet they are together. And Yona and Hawk are like arguing. And it's funny. It's funny. While they have the cuteness and like just the more soft vibes, Hawk and Yona just bring all the bumping heads, you know, saying dumb things to one another. So, but yes,
I think you're gonna really love the character development in Yona because it's just top notch. It's great.
It is.
I really enjoyed volume 3, so but probably not necessarily for Yona herself, but I really did enjoy volume 3.
Okay, so my number 5 now. In advance, I apologize. I suck at pronouncing Japanese names, so. So Toro Honda and Kyo Soma from Fruit Basket. I love those two. Especially she's overly sweet and he's the complete opposite of it. He is just that angry boy and she's like always apologizing, which I think gets on his nerves even more. Like, stop apologizing.
I love them.
They have a really sweet progression of their romance too.
Yes, they do. Especially when she starts to understand exactly what's wrong with him and why he's like that. But he's just a great character. He's like that one. He always wants to beat his cousin up, but he's always failing at beating his cousin up.
And
he's always like, I didn't come to save you. I just happened to be walking by. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, Otaku, you're next.
Well, I think I think a lot of ours might start to mix or intertwine. Like I'm gonna go for Wotakoi, and I'm trying to read their names. The Green Herald woman, Hanako, and Taro. Again, they can be so sweet at the end of an argument, but like their arguments are hilarious. But they're equally as sweet together. That's really what I really loved about them. I preferred them over the main characters, honestly.
Yeah, especially like when they go back to when they were in high school and they first met and they're
Yes. What was
rivals.
Was it volleyball team that they were on?
Yeah.
Or? Yeah.
And she was always mad because they were holding up the volleyball court for the girls, and
Yeah, and they're just butting heads. You got two alphas just.
yeah, I love this. Okay.
All right. My number 4, I'm going way back, and it's Keiichi and Belle Dandy from Oh My Goddess.
Oh.
This series has a special place in my heart because it was one of the first animes I fell in love with. So yeah, even though Keiichi is kind of like a dope sometimes, they're still super cute together. So yeah,
I like
that's my pick.
Oh, that's good. I know you really love that series.
I do. It's just so adorable, and the art is just stinking amazing. I mean,
oh wow,
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just so pretty, and like there was a good one. I mean,
oh, that's nice.
And she has like 3 other sisters that are gorgeous as well. That's one thing this mangaka does well, is drawing like motorcycles and cars and just pretty girls. So this is also the same mangaka that does Tapu GP, which is releasing now. I think the latest volume was volume 9 to release. So yeah, love it.
That's awesome. Man, when did you, those are the omnibus, right?
Yeah, these are the Dark Horse omnibus, which are very hard to find these days.
That's what I just got to comment on.
Yeah. So they are very, like what are these? They're normally $20. For volume 5, I spent $60 just to complete my series. And I'm like, that's a whole lot, but I don't care. I have it all now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't feel like mine's an old one because I recently just read it. So it's sort of like, I don't know if this counts, but I guess it does. But I'm going to say Haru Ride, and I'm going to say Futaba and Kyo. I love them. Their love story is so messy. There's a lot of extra drama that was like, oh, this isn't my favorite. And they make decisions that I don't like. But when they finally come together as the ultimate ship, I really, really loved it. I was very moved by their love story. I loved the beginning and the end so incredibly much that I went out and I actually bought my first shoujo enamel pens of these two. And I was like, they're so cute and so adorable. And it's also the first shoujo anime I ever watched. So I was like, I felt like I had to spotlight them because, I don't know, just their romance is really, it's just really sweet, and I really love Kyo, and I will say it is an ultimate bonus that when I watch the anime, the voice actor of Kenma does his voice from Kenma from Haikyuu, and that was a done deal. I was like, that's all I needed. I will forever be a fan, and so that's part of why he's on this list, because I'm like, oh my goodness, like one of my favorite characters from another anime is voice acting another character in this anime. So, but it's a really sweet shoujo, even if, like I said, they make dumb decisions and you're just like, why? Even though they're realistic, but still,
yeah,
gotta have the shoujo angst and drama. So
exactly.
But it's still a great love story.
My next one is I didn't think I was gonna like this manga because I thought it was gonna be a little too steamy for what I usually like, but the dynamic between these two is so adorable, and that would be Gojo and Marin from My Dress Up Darling. I totally love their dynamic, how she gets him to come out of his shell and to really dive into his creativity, and he's kind of like there to help her with her confidence to go out there with her cosplaying. I just love it.
Yeah, I love how they like help each other like through things. Like he was like not opening up about, what is it, the dolls or something that he does?
Yeah.
Like she thought it was totally cool and everyone else thinks it's like totally lame. So that kind of gave him a boost of confidence and stuff. So it was so cute.
Definitely the major reason why I love that one is because you got two people that have their interests and are helping each other just go towards their goals and building on each other and developing, just being with each other. So I was like, that's a great relationship. So
yeah, I love their relationship because she doesn't let him stay in his shell. She drags him out there and makes him see the world. Okay, Otaku.
I mean,
I love that.
opposites attract too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I got a lot of those except one couple.
So the number 3 would actually be Kaguya and Miyuki from Love is War.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So they're again really cute couple, and they're always just trying to trip each other up with their antics of trying to make each other confess that they love each other. It's like, but whoever, the whole thing is, the taboo is whoever confesses first is the inferior, and they're both just striving to be the one on top. So that's been a really cute series, and you can tell they really love each other. That's why I put them at number 3.
Yeah, I love the whole beginning with them. The challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make him say it first, and I'll make her say it first.
The anime opening of the first season, I've only seen one part of that, is so good.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it. I was like, that was so creative. That was really creative.
But one of the only ones that I didn't skip. So
yeah,
normally I skip the intros with that one. Just, I like it.
Yeah,
Let it play.
Yep.
Okay. My number 3, we're continuing on the nostalgia train, I guess, is Tamahome and Miyaka from Fushigi Yugi. It's funny. She's just like a goofy high school girl, and he's just a cool dude that can kick butt. And it's just a fun series. And the reason I like Yona so much is because it reminds me so much of Fushigi Yugi, because she's looking for these, is it 7? Yeah, 7 celestial warriors, or 6. I think it's 7. And she finds them all, and then they have this task to do, kind of like Yona, where she's looking for her dragons and stuff. So it's very kind of similar in the same like action thing. But yeah, they're just cute. I love them. They're like, and again, this was another one of my first animes that I watched and fell in love with. So yeah, back when VHS was a thing.
I think that's so cool. I literally had that in my cart on Thrift Books the other day, and I kept debating. I ended up not getting it only because I told myself I was already trying to collect the rest of, was it Otomen? And I was like, I can't try and collect too hard to find series right now. So I'm hoping that one will stay in stock for a little bit longer, and I can start reading that one. Because I know you recommended that to me on my channel too. And I'm like, man, I'm like, and so it's like, yeah, I just snatched a few up. I was like, Laura, please stay out there.
I've been seeing the omnibus like pop up back at Barnes and Noble.
Really?
Which was interesting. I saw 4 and I think 5 or 6 the other day in my local Barnes and Noble. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. It is by Viz, so it's a possibility they might get reprinted, because this was a really popular series back in the day. So who knows?
Yeah, how many volumes are in that one?
3? I think this is a 3-in-1, or possibly I think it's a 3-in-1, because it's it's big.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the Inuyasha Viz Big editions. You could hurt someone with this stuff. So but yeah, I think it's a 3-in-1. I think it had 13 volumes in total, but there's only 6 of these big ones. So
that's not too bad. Maybe I'll be able to find it.
Yeah.
I'm getting to that point where you have to be careful, where you're like, you start seeing series going out of stock, and you're like, this is the time, and your wallet's like, this is not the time, and I'm like, this is the time.
I say we have that conversation a lot. Me and my wallet.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to get this now. No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
I feel like I do. No.
Come on, wallet, just stretch a little bit more.
Just come on. Be cool.
Yeah.
Like when you see that box set you've been looking for, you're like, darn it.
Oh. Yes.
After you bought the last one.
Yeah. I guess I will go with this one, because Otaku N Training, for a second I thought we were talking about the same manga, because I'm going to do Library Wars Love and War, which is the subtitle. So I was like, it took me a second for my brain to rethink. I was like, wait, wrong manga. But I'm going to say Dojo and Iku from Library Wars. This was like my first intentional manga I ever picked up. So I love them, enemies to lovers, and it's so great. Like the ending, like when it comes to the romance, is the most satisfying thing. And it's just a very like their relationship, friendship is very, very humorous. And you know that they're always super competitive and trying to one up the other person. So like even if something romantic looks like it's about to happen, one of them always ends up ruining it, but you just laugh it off because it's funny. So they are such a great couple. Like they're just so funny. I really, really enjoy the series. And like I said, the ending is so satisfying and pays off for all of the moments where you're like, come on now, like you guys see it, but you're not acknowledging it. So yeah,
I need to binge read that next.
It's so good. I told myself I have to read it before the year ends because I'm like, a few weeks ago, it's probably been a few months now, I skim read some of my favorite parts and I'm like, just sit down and read it, Laura. Like you're already here. Like do it. Just do it.
Do it.
Do it. All right, mine was already mentioned, but for the same reason Otaku like them is Hanako and Taro from Wotokai. Say Wotaku, Wotokai.
I've said it there 3 different ways.
I know. I just love that they're both the alphas, just like Otaku was saying, and they're always like butting heads, but like they have like this deep love, respect, and like him botching up trying to propose. I just love them.
So, what I got for number 2, I kind of go back and forth between number 1 and number 2, but I think I'll go ahead and do let's say Horimiya. You have you have Kiko Hori and Izumi Miyamura, and I didn't know this that part of their names are actually the title. And I told that to my wife. She goes, "Seriously, you didn't know that?" I didn't write it down. So.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't either.
So I really enjoyed their story. It was like I would watch it and I would just get lost. Like, what time is it? How many episodes have it gone through? And these two people, you genuinely feel the love for each other. I mean, before, like, as they meet each other, you can tell there's a spark, and it just grows. And the way the anime depicts everything is like so beautiful, and the comedy was great as well. I love how the father gets put in there, and he just he was a riot. So, but yeah, those two again, number 2.
That series has been in and out of my shopping cart for years now.
Yes, me too.
It's like I feel like I need it now.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're unsure, check out the anime. It's really great.
Yeah, I need to. Let's see. What are we on? Number 2? Okay. My number 2 is Rengetsu and Prince Tenyu from A King's Beast. It is just an absolute riot because she is dressed up as a male Ajin character, and she's going undercover, and he has no idea that she's a girl. So just the antics and stuff that happen in this, and it's really good. It's a really good political kind of shoujo. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's murder. There's like people with abilities. There's brothers that don't really get along. There's an emperor that's kind of messed up. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And just their back and forth with each other is so adorable and so cute. And yeah, I can't get enough of it. And the latest volume of this was just perfection.
Oh,
so I think it was volume 7. So yeah, and it's got some mystery and like thriller and stuff like that in it. So it's a really good shoujo series.
Well, has he found out yet that she is a girl based off of either because was it volume 6 or volume 7 with the cover where it, obviously like we know that she's a female, but she has her chest wrapped and everything. He still doesn't know.
He still doesn't know. One is kind of dense, and he's all in his feelings. So yeah, he doesn't really realize, but he is attracted to this person. and he doesn't understand really why, but he is. I mean, he's cute and pretty. So, but yeah, I can't wait when he finds out that it's a girl, and I think he's going to be very happy with that. Yeah. So, yeah. So, it's really cute.
Well, look, I will say I don't even know how to choose a number 2. I feel like I have to pick, and I'm like, how do I pick between these? So we're just gonna say they're interchangeable. We'll just say they're interchangeable because I feel bad for saying this is number 2, but I was gonna do Sawako and Kazehaya from Kimi ni Todoke, which thank the manga sloth and his wife that they put this on like my list and to read, and I've read it not this past Christmas, but the one before that, and I just binge read this series in like 2 weeks. I love them so much. Like, it is just an excellent high school romantic story that like you see them from when they were basically freshmen all the way to them being first years all the way to third years, and it was just such a beautiful progression of their relationship and them just growing closer, and just sort of like all of us have shared of like seeing characters come out of their shells and them grow, overcome like lack of self-confidence or just other things that are going on in the story, and it's just so beautiful, and I'm like, it's a classic shoujo for a beautiful reason, and I was like, they have to be on here because like their moments, I feel like it's one of the few stories I've read where like you blush along with the characters because you're like, this is just so sweet. It's just so sweet. So I love these two. I just like, man, I didn't even know what cover to choose to show tonight because I was like, they're just, each cover that has them is really great, and they're just a great series. They're just a great couple. I mean,
that's what I'm trying to piece together bit by bit, because some of the volumes are coming back in print and I'm just grabbing them as they're coming back in stock. So I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, I saw you have volume 1 and was so stoked. Like, yes. It's funny because volume 1 and volume 30, the final volume, are the ones that are coming back in stock. And I'm like, how are you have the first and the final volume? And then like, what about the middle here? Like,
yeah, I've got like bits and pieces of the middle. And it's just like, I don't have volume 2. So it's like, okay, I can't start reading it because, I'm going to read 1 and then I'll forget everything.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think volume 2 is one of the ones I'm missing from my collection. I think I need 2, 6, and 11. And I'm just like, come on, Viz. But I'm like, if you gave us volume 1, like surely they'll give us volume 2 because like you just said, like you can't start the series without the second volume. Right. It makes sense. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next one is a really popular choice, but they just look dynamic, even though they're not technically a couple yet. They're just on paper, but that would be Lloyd and your from Spy Family. Yes. I love it, especially how Lloyd is completely oblivious to the fact he has a wife that's an assassin and a kid that's a psychic, and he is a spy.
That's the best part. It's like, come on, man.
Also like,
yes.
He's also like meek, and he's just like, oh well, he goes, she's the perfect wife because she's non-threatening and everything, and then suddenly she'll do stuff, and he's like,
yeah.
Like she stopped a cow from running down.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, just took out all the pressure points.
Never ever clicks.
No.
Hey Bianca, you made it.
Hi. I'm sorry.
Okay. We're just talking about our top 5. I think we were at 3? I was saying
dang, you guys are at 3 already. 4. Gosh dang. So I'm lucky I created a list because like I'm so bad with names, and I'm like behind all of my manga that I was reading digitally. Oh gosh. So what did I write? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I guess it's 1 to 4, or is it like
we did like 5 to 1?
To 2. So. Yeah.
5 to 1. Okay. Yeah. So I guess my number 5 would be like Vegeta and Bulma from Dragon Ball Z.
My Bulma.
Yes. My number 4 would be Takayo and Rinko from My Love Story. My number 3 is Yona and Hawk from Yona and the Dawn. Yona with the Dawn, yes. My number 2 is Otani and Koizmi from Lovely Complex. For people who don't know, like Lovely Complex, really tall girl, short guy. They're known to be really funny and people don't take them seriously, so they think of them as like the comedy duo, but they hate being called that. But it's just a thing that happens naturally to them and all that stuff, and they end up becoming a couple and all that stuff, which was really hard because he kept rejecting her multiple times because she was tall. And and she wanted
step stool.
And she wanted to be with somebody, a guy who was tall around her height, so she she can feel small, that kind of thing. But the tall guy she was interested in was like, oh my gosh, I like this girl because she's like really, really short. To me, you're like a guy because you're my height. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Unfortunately for the short guy, he had a crush on the girl who had a very short, and she was like, oh my gosh, I love him. He's like a girl, because they were both the same height. And I'm like, oh gosh. And then, they just end up being together. It's very underrated. I want that second season, even though this is early 2000s, so I doubt it. And then we're not number 1 yet, right?
No.
Okay. That's my bad. I think I went to number 2.
That's okay.
We stopped, yeah. I will say Lovely Complex is one that I honestly wish was so easy to find because it has been on my radar since, we'll say, the beginning of this year, because my friend said the same thing. She said it's so underrated. It's one of the series that she personally was like, went and spent money to get those volumes because she just loves it so very much.
Yes, it's amazing. That's why I gave up and got digital.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Shonen Jump app is like my best friend at times.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Carrie, I just want to say I'm so glad that you did Lloyd and Yor, because I was like, I don't know if we had to do canon, because I would totally say red blood cell, white blood cell forever in my ship. You would never fail. But I was like, well, let's just stick with couples we know that actually end up a couple. But we're all going to assume that Spy Family will have a ship that sails by the end. We all want it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just love their dynamic. The spy who just is completely clueless what's under his own
I
room.
love it.
And the only one who knows everything is the little girl.
Yeah.
Even the dog. So she knows everything about the dog as well.
Poor girl.
Because what does it say in the manga? She was starved for entertainment or something like that.
And she got it.
Yeah.
She got it. I love when she decided like she was going to hang out with her parents for like what my parents do for work day, and then she was just imagining everything that the mom was going to show her, then imagining everything the dad was going to show her. They're so cute.
Such a good series.
Yeah.
All right. So looking up the numbers, I think I'm on actually number 1.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I stopped at the right time then.
There you go.
Marion Kitagawa and Wakano Gojo, those were not number 1s, and we kind of went over that. I love a couple that can grow with each other and just continually to push each other up.
It's the best couple.
I love that series.
What is that from?
Oh, sorry, My Dress Up Darling.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
The one book I have to read, of course.
You'll enjoy it.
Another series finally coming back in stock.
Yes. And 6 just dropped as well. So
yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Mark, if this is not Yona, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, I was like, she has not talked about Yona.
Like, come on, guys, you know. Yeah.
Of course.
Yona and Hawk, duh. So, yeah, I mean, I talk about these two so often. Do I really need to say anything? But
yes,
I
please,
mean,
1,000 times yes.
Yeah, Hawk is so hot. Yona is lucky to be with him. That's all I gotta say.
I was surprised to hear he was 19. I'm like, you're 19?
Right? I'm just like, oh man. But yeah, love him. I love the scenes between them. I love how they bicker sometimes. And then, They have their sweet moments, few and far between, and it leaves you wanting more and more, but you don't get it. So yeah, love it so much.
The teasing.
Oh, there's them on the back cover too.
I was
They're so
surprised.
cute.
I feel like that he sort of already had feelings for her from the get-go. I don't know if that's a
Yeah.
spoiler. Okay, you guys are saying yes, he did?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, I put in my review today of volume 3, I was like, he's sort of a little bit of a scoundrel a little bit. I was like, Hawk, I didn't expect this. That's not that, I don't mean that in a bad way or anything, because I actually somebody was selling a hot pin for a really good deal. So I have my second enamel shoujo pin coming later today. But yeah, I was like, I don't know. I feel like I expected their relationship to be different. Maybe it was just because I thought he didn't like her at first, and I knew Yona didn't have like any idea based off the spoilers I've seen. So I was like, he already has feelings for her. I was like, I had no idea. So I'm like trying to cope with that new knowledge from I think this latest volume. It was much more obvious to me that
yeah. She had none for him. Like her eyes were only for Suwon in the beginning until things happen, and things
happen. That's a good spoiler-free version of it. Things happen.
Some things happen.
Sexy results.
I guess for my number one, I mean, I'm pretty confident, but again, my number one, number two are interchangeable, but I am going with high school debut, and I'm going to say Yo, not Yor, because I had to think about that earlier, but Yo and Haruna, I love them. They are just, I don't know, I feel like they're a couple that's almost goals, and they're very opposite, but they're very funny, and they just, I don't know, they're very compatible at the same time. And I love how she's just like basically like this, she's the sunshine, he's the moon, and they just make it work. And I love how their relationship grows. And I'm just like, man, they are such an awesome couple. And the romance is just so very, very good. I almost was going to say Yona of the Dawn for my number one, but it's like, I haven't read far enough. I was like, I feel like that doesn't count. I feel like I'll be cheating, even though when I did like long time ago, I said they were my favorite couples. So, but yes, high school debut for sure.
That's another one I gotta read. I have like all of it, and I was like, I just need to sit down and binge read it.
It's so good. I do not like Yo's sister for nothing. Like, if I could just cancel her out the manga, I gladly would. But everybody else is great.
No, my number one. My number one is another one where I'm like, they're going to end up being a couple, though they're not technically one right now. But that is going to be Mao and Emmy from The Devil is a Part-Timer.
I haven't seen that one.
I love that one. It's the hero and he's the villain, and they get stuck in our world together, and she's always threatening that she's going to watch him, and he's working at like what is a McDonald's as an employee, and he ends up being happy living in the human world, but she's still waiting for him to do something.
That's funny.
It's hilarious. I love them.
Oh, I need to pick that up. Sounds like
the banter is pretty hilarious.
Oh, I love banter. I love good banter.
She's like outside their apartment listening.
Is that a light novel and a manga? I know the anime is on.
Yes,
it is. Okay, I didn't know about the light novel. So
okay,
it's funny. And then he's got his demon sidekick who's being like the at home wife guy, and he's cooking and he's keeping track of the money and making sure he's not overspending while trying to figure out how to reopen the gate to go back home.
Dinner's getting cold.
Yeah. You will eat all those noodles before they go expired.
I remember that.
He's like, you can't hang out with Emmy. She's the hero. You're the villain.
Oh, that's right. They were also, she was like the angel. He was the devil, Lucifer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was the angel Michael or...
I don't remember I know she was like, her mother was an angel, so she was like half angel is what they told her in the beginning. It might have changed as it went along. I haven't got that far. I got to the part with the kid who thinks she's their child.
I have some catching up to do.
But yeah, and it's just hilarious because she's got the better job than he does, but she's like, well, I can afford an apartment with an air condition. The banter is just great.
Oh yeah. Like they get arrested and everything, and she's complaining about that outside his apartment. It's like they totally thought we were going out. It was so horrible. It was embarrassing.
Why did you call me to bail you out? Sorry, you're the only person I know in this world.
Yeah. All right. So Bianca or me?
Bianca.
Yes, this one was really, really hard, but I'm gonna add this one as my all-time favorite, which is Shinomori and Yayoi from Psycho Pass, which is a lesbian couple. One of them is bisexual, and the other one's a lesbian, but it's a lesbian relationship. Psycho Pass also a very underrated anime.
I know. I had to think about that because I was thinking of Mob Psycho, and I was like, I thought that was a superhero. Well, not a superhero. It's not, but I know it's from the creator of One Punch Man. But I was thinking of that one, and it took me a minute to transition.
Right.
Like,
so this is like an adult series. Think of like, it's not post-apocalyptic, but it's in the future. And so in Japan and in the movie, it explained like some countries are wanting to develop their kind of system. There is no longer judges. There's no judges, no lawyers, all that stuff. They have a system where they can kind of like predict if you're going to become a criminal or not by looking into your emotion. But it mostly is like, if you are stressed, they think, oh, you're going to do something bad. Come with us. You're going to be taken to this place, which is honestly therapy. Not therapy. It's literally you're locked in a room your entire life, depending on what number you are. And if you get too crazy in the cell, they just put knockout gas and knock you out and all that stuff. If you're interesting enough, somebody from the police bureau will say, hey, so I'm going to offer you a job, but this may mean that you can never have your psychopaths, which is what it's called, cured, because they all come in a number. And so the safety bureau has these guns, which come with a voice and everything. It's locked to your own fingerprints if you are a police officer. And depending on what number you on, it can rather stun you, or as soon as it shoots you, if you're at 300 or more, a body part's going to explode.
Oh my god!
Oh my!
It's kind of like Minority Report without the clairvoyance. That's what Dominic.
I was going to say Black Mirror.
Yeah,
Black Mirror. Definitely Black Mirror
episode.
Yeah. First season was great. Second season, the director he had to like step out because he was doing something else. Anybody know Madoka Magica?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it though.
Okay, so this is by the same guy who did Madoka Magica. He also did Bubble, which is on Netflix, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so his animes are usually like really great, but they're also very underrated. Thunderbolt Fantasy was also an underrated anime, which is not animated. It's using Taiwanese puppets. And Taiwan, they have these puppets which you can maneuver into like literally fight sequences and all that stuff, and they look very beautiful. And he's like, oh my gosh, I love it. I want to do that. And so I know it's on Crunchyroll and everything. So having voices come out of the puppets when the lips are not moving, it's so weird, but the fight scenes are so amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've never heard of that
one.
I haven't either.
Yes, the third season's about to come out.
Now I know what's going on my list.
Yep. I've been adding stuff to like my Amazon wish list and everything during this.
Yeah.
You'll never finish it.
Write that down.
Oh, I think we're on the honorable mentions. All right, so my honorable mentions. Actually, I've been talking about this one, Kowloon Generic Romance. It's a fairly new one that's come out. It's actually
took me a second.
There we go. And the first thing ever that got damaged from Right Stuff. So here. But
bummer.
But this one's actually really good. I read it digitally first while it was on the way, and it's got some really great art. Let's see if I can get you the very front. Oh hell!
I've seen a lot of people talking about this one.
So it gets pretty detailed. It gets a little spicy with scenes, but it's nothing. No nudity or anything. But
dang it!
A lot less clothing. But it's an older MC, so you have people in their 30s. So it's like, thank you, finally something I can I can read guilt free. But you have a workplace romance again, and it's kind of like Kaguya-sama Wellbus War, where you have two people just trying to get each other to confess that their feelings for each other. And I've really enjoyed it. They have really funny banter as well. I've posted one scene where it shows both of them getting ready to punch each other. All right, whoever wins chooses who goes out to eat where, and you see them both attacking each other. In the next panel over, they're doing rock paper scissors. And I was like, oh, okay, that's better. But it's a lot of stuff like that, so I've really grown to enjoy it.
You enjoyed that one too, didn't you, Mark?
Oh yeah, loved it. That was one of my highly anticipated for this year. So yeah, I had to wait forever for Right Stuff to get it, and I'm like, no, everyone's reading it already.
No.
But yeah, so good. I love that mangaka's art. Same mangaka that does After the Rain, which is another excellent series. Don't be afraid of the age gap because it doesn't last long. Spoiler.
Thank goodness.
It's good. But yeah, I really loved it. I love the twist at the end. I cannot wait for the second one. But yeah, I don't have any honorable mentions because I didn't grab anybody, but
You could have at least said Jeha with me. Yes, thank you.
you're right. Yes, I love Jeha. Yes, Jeha is my favorite dragon out of all of them. So yeah.
I kept switching to every single dragon as soon as they appeared, and I'm like, I can't let this happen again.
I'm wondering if that is going to be me, to be honest, because I already like the white dragon, and I was like,
Yeah.
I just finished where he meets or he joins them on their adventure. So I'm like, I guess we're off to go get the second dragon, I guess.
Yep.
So.
Second dragon was actually going to be really hard for me because I'm like, oh my gosh, I love Kija, and then the other dragon, and I'm like, oh no, I love you now. And oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Why do I like him? I never liked that type of character, but why do I like you? Weird. And then last dragon, and I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm staying with the one I had. Jeha is my favorite.
Yeah. I didn't have that reaction. I was like, okay, white dragon. Oh, okay. And then the next one, I was like, was it Sinha? I was like, okay, he's kind of cool. And then I'm like, when it got to Jeha, I'm like, yes, finally. I'm like, I love him. I go for the funny guys always.
Which one does he look like? Is he the one that has the green hair?
Green, yes.
Yeah, he's Green Dragon.
He's the funny one. He looks so calm and chill in the covers.
Yeah, he's calm, he's chill, he's very suave with the ladies. And yeah, he's a smooth talker, but yeah, I like him. Although I do like Yellow Dragon a lot too, because he's hilarious.
He's so sweet.
He is sweet. Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta catch up.
Honestly, well, if I have time tonight, I'll have to read some more Yona after this because I'm like, I want to read some more now. So the cover of Volume 4 is so cute. It's I'm pretty sure that's Yoon on the cover with Yona for Volume 4. I'm pretty sure where they're giving.
I remember.
See, he's putting a flower in her hair. What is she putting in his hair?
Oh yeah, I think that's Yoon.
I forgot about Yoon. Oh, he's so sweet.
Yoon's sweet.
Oops.
Yeah, that's Yoon.
Yeah, let me turn that. Sorry.
I remember when I started shipping them first.
Oh, he's so cute. He's a precious little being. Like he's so wholesome.
He's like the mom of the group. Yeah,
he does seem like he is. Yeah, like he is the one.
Like, let me put a Band-Aid on that. I'm like, oh, you're such. Let me get you some soup. I'm like, he's so sweet.
Oh, talking about sweetness, I mainly did just shoujo titles, but I decided to go a little bit. I'll say more adult, but that doesn't fit what I was doing. But I did a Sign of Affection because Yuki and Izumi are so adorable, and like this is the one manga I feel like it comes in, I read it ASAP, and then I go back and reread it again, but at a much slower pace, so I can just appreciate their relationship and all the small details and how really just like I think it's just so amazing that even though that Yuki's deaf, like the way that the romance is just, I don't know, just how it's done and how there's just an appreciation of other things. I feel like I'm blanking. I'm failing here on this manga, but it's just, I don't know. It's just really beautifully done. And he's just so wonderful with her, and he's so patient, and the way that just their relationship is growing is just everything. It's just so good. And I was like, I read it twice, like every time it comes, I have to mention them because they're just awesome. And it's a really wonderful josei if you ever need something that's like not
Yes.
just,
I need more josei in my life.
it's so good. It is so good.
I've been hearing good things.
Yeah. It's like one of those I feel like that definitely is worth the hype, and it's not like maybe overhyped, but in a good way where, like I said, it's worth it. It's so good.
I got one. I got one.
Okay.
It's these two.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not quite a couple yet, but yeah, Chateau and was it Ranghai Song or something? Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I love their back and forth and just the way they don't really trust each other in the beginning and stuff. I just love it. So that's my runner-up.
That's not the Chinese one, is it?
It's I think it's Korean.
Because it's been a long time.
Yeah, it started off on like Twitter, and then it went to a full manga or manhwa or whatever it's called. But yeah.
Wait, so what was it, Chinese or Korean? I cut you off. I'm so sorry.
Korean.
It is Korean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I need to go catch up on the anime because I love the anime more than the manga. Well, I enjoyed the anime more than the manga because I really loved how they add the music, and they really, there's not really much romance in the beginning, but they were able to bring it out, even though like a few people were like, this is not romantic. I'm like, look, this ain't a healthy relationship in the beginning. I was like, I ain't gonna say it's not, or that it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good.
It gets so better. It gets so much better. Yeah. I need to go watch the anime because that's one that I need to catch up with the anime.
I thought it was really well done.
Forgot about it. Oh my gosh.
I have to watch the anime. I haven't watched the anime yet.
That's good.
Yeah.
Check it. My honorable mention. I have a love-hate this relationship because when it first started, I really wanted them to get together, but then things happened in the story where I was like, they're definitely not getting together, and then suddenly they threw them together, and now I'm like, they shouldn't be together, but I want it to make sense that they are together. And that would be Sakura and Sasuke from Naruto.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, I wanted them together, and then he went and became a mass murderer. He tried to kill her.
Don't you hate that?
And then suddenly they're married with a kid, and I'm like, I missed something somewhere.
Where was the affection? Was the affection always there?
Yeah, it's like he had shown no like signs of like that he was actually gonna like her, and then suddenly it's like married with a kid. Okay, there's a gap.
Well, did she like him? And I've never seen Naruto. I've seen a bunch of spoilers,
She
but
was
like
crushed on him since they were kids.
Okay.
And he had
Like
no
obsessive
interest. He was
crush.
just he just wanted to focus on his revenge for his family.
Yeah.
And Naruto had a crush on her.
And then Ino also had a crush on Sasuke. So
they were fighting all the time over him, and he could care less of any girl.
Yeah.
So Naruto, because I know he's married to the one girl. I don't remember her name right now.
Hinata.
Yes, but like so like he never had a crush on her. Like
no. That's why like with the ending, I'm like, listen, I understand you wanted both of these as a couple.
Yeah.
But where was all of this? And he said, the author himself said that he's really bad at adapting female characters in general. So I'm like, makes sense, honestly. I'm sorry.
I really thought Sasuke was going to die, and then eventually Sakura would eventually transfer her feelings over. Like, you know what? I realized. So she's realized that he's been there for her and acknowledges everything he's done for her. And I thought that was gonna be it. It's like, oh hey, finally we're getting something. No, she's with Sasuke now. Like, I don't understand.
Well, it's like during the exam, like in the early years of Naruto, there was a moment where you kind of saw Sasuke actually kind of like opening up to Sakura.
Mhm.
Like she was the one who broke him out of it. So he said, okay, maybe it could happen. But then he left the village.
Oh,
He left the village to get revenge and join the bad guys.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, it's not going to happen. And then at one point, I think she confesses to Naruto she loved him, but she was only doing it because she wanted to move on from Sasuke. And it was like,
She wanted
It was the diversionary.
Don't worry about Sasuke anymore, Naruto, because I love you. And he saw through that, and he's like,
yeah,
shut up.
I know.
You're not gonna stop just liking him just like that. And I think she like knocks him out or something, and then she's like, I'm gonna kill Sasuke, and everybody's like, ha, 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 ha. And it became a whole
kill at one point. He did try to kill her, and if it wasn't for Kakashi jumping in, he probably would have. And that's where I was
everybody's like, no, you're dumb, you're not as strong.
man, that's an emotional roller coaster right there. Like I didn't know that. I mean, that's like, I don't know, that sounds like some shoujo drama right there. But just in the shonen world, like, goodness, man.
It's like, Dad, tell me when you fell in love with Mom, and everyone's like, yeah, tell us when you fell in love with Mom.
I'm waiting for the daughter to find out about Dad's past and go.
I saved her from bullies that one time, and that's when she liked me. Okay, but when did you like her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know you have the shouting gun?
She told me she'd help me rebuild the clan. Yes, Elite Collector, we're talking about your boy Sasuke.
Elite.
But it's like there was like no development after he realized going down the dark path was wrong, where he would gradually like have emotions for Sakura. It was just like it ended with him and Naruto in that fight, and then they had the movie where they set up Naruto and what's her name, Hina.
Mm-hmm.
And there was still nothing even in that movie because he was off journeying around all the ninja villages.
People were saying, he just bites this one girl's arm, but they have more development than anything. I forgot her name. Kadeen. Kadeen was her name. Apparently, she like can restore your chakra if you're really low, but to do that, you have to bite her, and because she's also interested in Sasuke, it gives her a special feeling. And I'm like, that's the closest thing he'll ever get with a girl.
I know that later on she's all cool with her.
I thought she was actually the mom when I first saw the first episodes of Boruto. I was like, they look similar. Glasses. You got the glasses and everything. I'm like, that might be. And then like, no, it's Sakura. Like, okay.
And they said I think worse. They said it in such a mean way too. They're like, no, I just gave her glasses. Okay. Yeah. She's not even, I'm not even with Sasuke. And I'm like, dang, you're gonna call out the fans like that? We were just curious.
It's just like I witnessed her give birth to her.
But it's also like she's part of Naruto's clan too, but none of that is really explored. Like she's the last one.
Yeah, she's part of the Uzumaki clan. I'm like,
and the original one because of her red hair, like Naruto's mom's special side. And I'm like, nobody's gonna talk about it.
No, it's like they just dropped that plot point.
And this is why I told Tristan, I'm like, I can't wait for you to finish Naruto and Naruto Shippuden so I can give you all these videos that is just gonna crap on it. It's gonna be fantastic. Plot point bad, this bad, blah bad, filler bad,
more filler.
Well,
I know. It's like I wish I had the internet where it is now back when like Bleach first came out so they could tell you what filler episodes to skip so you could get right back into the main story.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, you have episodes where you're just waiting for that spirit bone to get thrown.
20 episodes later.
Yeah.
Frieza's dead.
Ichigo going in for the kill and then suddenly 2 weeks of Cone running around the Tokyo in his body. It's like, can we get back to the main plot, please? It's like, we don't really need to know what Cone was doing while everybody was in the other dimension. It's like, I went to school today as Ichigo.
Did any of y'all started watching that Uncle from Another World?
Yes.
No.
That is hilarious.
Uncle from Another. That's a new one that came out?
Yeah, it's on
Netflix right now.
Oh,
Uncle from Another World.
It kind of
Yeah.
makes fun of all different types of anime, including isekai, because it's like when he was 17, he got hit by a truck and he ended up getting teleported to another world.
Sorry.
But nothing went his way. Like everybody thought he was an ogre because he was ugly, and
Bro.
like he didn't pick up on the fact this one elf girl liked him. He just thought she was annoying and following him around. And then he wakes up when he's like in his middle age, and he convinces his nephew that he teleported to another world, so they start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he brought back some of his abilities, and she's like showing him off.
Yeah. He's like, watch me bring the water and rise it. And he's like saying in this other language, and the kid's standing there waiting for the water to rise.
Oh my gosh. It's my new thing to watch. As long anything that will make fun of an isekai at this moment, I'll freaking take it. Because I'm tired.
Exodrive. That's what I say. If you're looking for something that makes fun of isekais, Exodrive is one of my favorites. Basically, you have a tournament of you have a tournament. It's in a little stadium, and you start off with two opponents that are going against two trucks, and you're like, what's going on? The trucks start and they hit the main characters and they get transported to another world, and now they're to speed run beating the demon lord in this new world, and they're like, it's like televised, so everyone's in the stadium watching everything go on, and everyone treats this world as a speed run. Like you've seen people do video games like Super Mario, like, all right, I'm gonna do a speed run of it. They're doing the same thing with that. It's like, all right, hey dad, I'm gonna go out and venture the world real quick, bye. And they master the world, and the whole thing is you get 3 abilities that you can load into this device that you take with you, and it kind of gets into Yu-Gi-Oh territory, and you get all these different combinations you can use, and that's what makes it really interesting for me. And after you get past Volume 1, you start seeing different elements. What happens if everyone thinks, okay, you got to save the world, that's how you win? There's other ways of winning, and it's actually pretty interesting, but it really makes fun of the isekai genre.
What is it called again?
Exodrive.
Oh,
Exodrive.
I was close.
Well, you know what else I like about My Uncle from Another World is they make fun of stuff like modern technology, because he's like stuck in the 90s.
Oh,
So he's
My
like
headset's
his
out of juice.
YouTube channel, and he finds out he's gonna lose his mind, right, if he doesn't get like 4,000 views on his YouTube channel. So he's trying to get like 4,000 people to watch his channel.
Oh,
Yeah. So if you're curious on what there you go.
I'm
Exodrive.
not.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm getting everything today.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta check one out.
But yeah, the uncle from another world jumped back. So he loves Sega Genesis, and I was like, I love that. He was hit when he was 17. That's when Sega was one of the top brands, and I remember that. I played a lot of different Sega games, I think, but one of them that was actually multi-platform was Toy Story. I don't know if y'all played that one at all, but I absolutely loved the Toy Story rendition on Sega. But
I didn't know there was one. Oh.
Yeah,
I played the
I
one
spent
on
a lot of
Nintendo.
hours. I spent a lot of hours on that one.
Sega.
Sega.
Yeah, I heard that
But,
music. I never said that.
Yep.
So
I also love when he's trying to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was also loving when he's trying to get a hold of his favorite manga, and he's like, "Uncle, that series ended like 5 years ago."
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of us would do. I mean, hell, Futurama, Fry did that when he won the lottery, and he started buying up all the old stuff from his time, and I think that's what he's doing in this one. He's going on eBay, he's looking for all these things that he missed out on, and he's trying to find flip phones, and I think he got like a spinner phone. So that was kind of like the sidekick.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "It's not gonna work, Uncle." He goes, "That doesn't matter." Like he just wanted it.
Yeah. So
I would probably do the same too. Like, I'm buying all this stuff from the 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious with him. And then he like just randomly will fly through the sky, and like he lands, and like the kid's girlfriend or girl who wants to be his girlfriend just sees him like land on the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "I'm going to erase your memories," or something. And he's like, "Don't do that."
Yeah, the girlfriend. I love when any I would say any grounds about to be made in any kind of relationship, or you're about to see something happen, something like I think Laura, you were saying that something always happens at a certain time just to interrupt it. And it's a pretty funny gag that just keeps on being used. But even though as repetitive as it is, it gets me every time, and I'm laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
I was thinking about when him buying up everything. It reminded me also on like Devil is a Part-Timer. There's this one other demon that's living with him, buying up everything on called jungle.com, which is like Amazon.
Yeah.
And the other one who's like the housewife is like, would you stop buying this stuff? Our budget does not accommodate it.
No, we need it.
It's like, I need it for the research. He's like, no, you don't.
You literally don't need this
Of
stuff.
course I do. This body pillows are supposed to test something out, you know?
Oh, those are funny. Does anybody have any recommendations before we go? Because I know some of us have to like leave soon.
For like anime or for manga?
Either.
Yes.
Okay, Bianca.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8. Is that okay? Right. So one of them is called, if you're into shoujo, these are a lot of shoujo josei, by the way. Like these are ones I read a long time ago. So we got Otamen, does not have an anime, should have an anime. So there's this guy who is in high school. He've always liked girly things when he was a kid. Ever since he was a kid, you know, he always wanted to play the wife when they played house. He loved flowers. He loved teddy bears, stuffed animals. You know, things that are inherently feminine, that kind of thing. His as a child, he went to his dad. His dad's like, I gotta tell you and your mom something. I've always wanted to be a girl. Mom faints. Divorce. Turns out the dad is a trans woman, but always never what's it called? He never transitioned because of what he just did to his wife, and you know, he might have scarred his son and made his son hate him, that kind of thing. But so it's about the kid's journey into liking feminine things, which is what the word otamen is, like otame, which is for girls, but men. And it's going to show like many different guys who are into things that are like considered feminine while they're in a society where they want to keep the men masculine. You're going to see a guy who's like into makeup. You're going to see a guy who's like into flowers. You're going to see a guy who wants to be manly, but he looks so much like a girl that it ruins his confidence. And then the main guy likes a girl, but she's masculine. She can't cook. She can't clean. She can't do anything. She loves martial arts movies, and she's like the exact opposite. She's like a better fighter than he is and everything. So it's she's the prince, he's the princess kind of thing. It's completely finished. It sucks that it never got an anime, but it did get a live action TV show, which was also good. And there's also a guy who makes shoujo manga, and he kind of like watches the two couple and adds them to his story. Next one is Skip Beat. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know Skip Beat here. Yes. So it's mostly revenge story, that kind of stuff. Girl has boyfriend. Boyfriend's a turd. She's like, okay, you're in this industry. I'm going to try to beat you at this industry. Turns out she likes the industry, and she's going to beat him by being number one. The next one I just got actually a while ago is called Super Women in Love. I believe this is a shonen. It's about this villain who's about to kill the hero, you know, and it's all like mecha, that kind of mecha stuff. They have a ring thingy on their hand. It's always on their hand. They activate it. And she's about to kill the hero until she sees the hero's face, and it's a cute girl. And she's like, oh my gosh, she's my type. And so she ends up being fired from her villain squad, and she's like, well, I don't know what to do. Hero that she has a crush on was like, hey, join me, you know. And so she now joins the heroes because she's interested in the girl. So it's mostly just from that on. Hanakimi, gosh, so this is gender bent stuff for school, high school. Girl goes into an all male school and shenanigans. Haru X Kyo. Also, short guy, tall girl. Short guy also has glasses, which is like, I love glasses characters, you know. And tall girl is, she's like, she has her face covered. She's always shy and everything. short guy is like brazen and all that stuff, and their personality just kind of like intertwine with each other, and they end up just liking each other. Next one is Puchamani. Gosh dang. So I believe it was Marg where you said you were showing a manga, girl and guy like butts, right?
Oh yeah.
So for this one, almost similar, but the guy is considered I believe they're called puchas or something like that, which is like they like soft and squishy things, because the protagonist is a little bit chubby, and he kind of likes squishing her arms and feeling her belly and that kind of stuff. And she's also trying to have like
for that.
she tries to have like self-confidence with her body, but also trying to be healthy. Not losing weight's not really the goal, but just being happy with how you are is the goal. And he tries to help her with that too. This one is going to be a josei, Pet Shop of Horrors. It only got a 6-episode OVA, and I finally finished the manga. There's a Tokyo version which I have to read, and I'm like, I didn't know this was for girls, but after reading it, I'm like, yeah, this is for girls. But it's like kind of freaks me out. Even the anime is pretty scary to me. The last one is also a josei. This is from the same creator who made Princess Jellyfish, Tokyo Taraba Girls, which is about like I think 3 or 4 girls. They were like in their 20s going on 30, something like that, and they're trying to figure out what the heck do I do with my life. And that is it.
Oh, it's a good list of recommendations.
Yeah.
Golf clap.
I read too much.
Oh no, there's not too much about it.
I'm still trying to catch up on everything I own.
Right?
Same here. Maybe 40% is read.
I know, that's what I'm like about.
So, but I did just finally read a new one. So I don't know if y'all saw.
Oh my goodness.
Man, I can't figure this out. Okay,
That's the hardcover?
so Girl from the Other Side, hardcover. Yep.
My
Nice.
friend was
I
just talking
love
about the
this.
anime. Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, just so if you don't know anything about this one, it's kind of a dark, cute story where you have a demon-like character who is very attentive to this young little girl in an abandoned city. You get pieces of what's going on around there, but you really feel a really good connection. You feel no malevolence or anything coming from the demon character, just kind of a concerned being looking after this innocent young girl. And the story is just basically figuring out, why is she by herself? Why is everything abandoned? And these beings are known as cursed beings. And you touch one, you become one. And now, obviously, they're not touching at all. And there's a great big effort put into not touching at all. And with a bond developing between the two of them, it's almost like a father-daughter kind of bond. So eventually, you know that she's going to want to hug him. So you see him always trying to correct her. It's like, no, you can't touch me. You can't touch me. But again, you're trying to figure out what's going on in this world. And it's very sweet, but it can also be very dark because there's other beings like him that aren't as level-headed. So I really recommend it. I just finished it. Absolutely loved it. Can't wait for the next one.
I need more hardcover manga.
Yeah, honestly, that's one I wanted to get just because it's so gorgeous. Like, it's just pretty. It's just pretty.
Oh, my turn.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Sorry.
Let's see. I'm just gonna pull from what I've been reading lately. I've been buddy reading Peach Girl with Bizarre Individual. It's an older shoujo series that's just drama to the max. There is, like, on the later volumes, was it volume 6? There's some toxic stuff happening, and oh my goodness, but it's really good. It's a lot of fun. I'm also reading Kirakun Today, which is by the same mangaka as Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight. It's digital only, so I'm reading it on Amazon Unlimited. And basically it's about these high school students that live next door to each other. And the guy is diagnosed with a some kind of disease or something. We don't really know right now. And he has like a year to live, and they end up falling in love with each other. And I feel like heartbreak is coming soon because I think it's only like 7 or 8 volumes long. So it's not like a long, no, it's 9 volumes long. So it's not like a long commitment. Oh gosh, that sounds terrible. It's not a long commitment. Wow. Okay. But yeah.
How could you?
It's kind of like impending doom, but the couple is just so sweet and so adorable. And it's very well written. And I'm also reading Honey So Sweet, which I've had on my shelves forever. It's a girl and a guy in high school. Wow, these are all high school shows. Okay, interesting. But the guy is kind of like a delinquent looking student that everyone's kind of afraid of, and he's actually like soft and gushy inside. So it's just kind of a cute little romance that starts, and yeah, so those are my recs.
Taiga is so precious. Like, he's like the sweetest hero. I was like, the bad boy rep that he gets is so false for him. It does not remotely apply to him.
And I love his haircut. Like the way the mangaka draws his hair. I know that's a weird thing to say, but his hair is like so cool.
Yes, it is. That's a good series. That has a lot of stuff happen too.
Yeah, I'm kind of still in like the sweet stage, and I feel like things are ramping up to go sideways. So yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, the only thing that's coming to mind is the anime Love After World Domination. Oh my goodness. We talked about Power Rangers earlier.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That was crazy. I've never seen my husband watch an anime back to back. We watched it together one weekend, and then like that Monday he's rewatching it. And he's like, they're just so sweet, and it's just so funny. And what is his name? Fudo or something like that. He's so straightforward. Like you cannot help but ship them, despite that, she's the bad guy and he's the good guy. Like that has a nice play on the whole Power Rangers trope and just the romance. I mean, when Kodansha had their digital manga sale, my husband's like, you need to go get that. He's like, you need to go find the anime and go buy it physically for us, okay? So it is. I don't know. I didn't hear anybody talking about that, even though it came out last season, season or whatever, however the seasonal anime goes. So in the spring, and I'm just like, man, like, why is this under the radar when it's so precious and the characters are so great? Like, that's a really fun show to watch if you just want to cheer up and have good laughter.
What is it called again? World Domination?
Yeah, Love After World Domination.
Love After World.
Was it on Netflix or Crunchyroll? Crunchyroll. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And they're like, Power Rangers, but the aftermath. And I'm like, ooh, I love Power Rangers.
Oh my goodness. Carrie, you saw it, right? Otaku N Training, did you nod that you did too?
Yeah, I saw that one. It reminded me of Power Rangers in Space. You had it's almost very similar to that. You had the end of Power Rangers in Space. You kind of got the main villain starting to fall in love with the Silver Ranger. So I was like, actually, I liked it. I really enjoyed that part of the Power Rangers in Space.
Yeah, except, we didn't have the fruit power. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I can't get over that. I was just like, oh my goodness. But that's just part of its charm. It's got its quirks, but it really works. And it's just so great. It's a great one.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like it too. Let's see. I'm actually going to go with an oldie because I was going through my DVD collection and I came across an anime series that I love and I forgot how much I loved it. Is Samurai Champloo.
Oh,
I totally love the combination of like the martial arts, the hip hop music, and the fighting style. It's almost like one guy, he does like a breakdance type fighting style, and then the dynamic between the 3 characters. You've got like the samurai who's a Ronin. June, yeah, and then you have
I love June.
What's her name? Oh God, it slipped my mind. She's looking
June
for
is the
her
only
dad.
one I remember.
And she's kind of like the bubble-headed girl, but she gets annoyed with them because the 2 guys are complete opposites. You've got like the very stoic samurai, and then you have like the rogue type of like very rough around the edges, like self-taught warrior. And they end up getting stuck together because they all got arrested together, and they thought they weren't, the people arrested them thought they were in cahoots, so they end up running away and just ended up traveling together. Yes, Fu, that's her name. And they get into all these chaotic situations, and it's hilarious. Like they make a fun of a bunch of stuff, even though it's set in a certain time period. They make fun of a lot of stuff from like present day, like when they're in that one field and they realize like when they're laying there in the field it's marijuana. Like,
was that what it was? Oh my gosh, I couldn't understand.
They realized they were getting high and they couldn't figure out what was going on.
We were making, my brother and I were making jokes about it too. We were like, "Yo, what if they were high?"
They were totally.
Oh my gosh, how did I not get that?
Yeah, it's great. It's from I think it's from the same person who did Cowboy Bebop.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And Laura, I have to say, I am very sad Wano has ended, but I'm waiting for the next journey.
Oh my goodness, yeah. My husband's hooked on Haikyuu right now. Like he's been binge watching it without me, and he has not. I know, and he hasn't seen the latest episode and like read the latest chapter. I'm like, I need my weekly update.
I'm gonna have to get a divorce going here.
Yeah.
You know, I will say though, well, I don't think it's a spoiler. I was so heartbroken though I haven't followed the manga, you know, I haven't read it yet, but that the alliance has ended between, you know, Law, Kid, and Luffy. And I went and read the chapter. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, Law's been with them for so long. I'm like, how? I'm like, this just can't be, you know? I'm like, what is it? I'm like, he's basically a straw hat. Despite that he would probably adamantly deny that. But I'm just like,
I just love when they're parting ways and he's like, you know, the alliance is over. Next time we see each other, we're enemies. So people will die. And he's and like Luffy's like, oh, okay, like because they don't buy it. They still think he's their friend because it goes back to when Usopp had to explain to Law, when you say alliance, you mean like a temporary arrangement, but Luffy sees it as friends for life.
Exactly. See you next time, bud.
Well, that's what happened. Even Chopper's like, bye, Traffy, see you next time. And he's like,
I'll kill you too. Yeah.
And Kid's just rolling his eyes going, can we ship out now?
I'm with you.
Kid picked up on it.
I mean, I didn't even sit down and watch it straight through. I just saw different parts, but it was just so great. And the way that they brought, you know, memories of Ace back and stuff, I watched those things. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, I know that I'm like back on episode 300, but you know, I'm like, Ace is in here. We're watching it. So yeah. So I didn't mean to get on that One Piece ramble, but yeah, I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
I love the thing that they're never gonna screw up the plan.
Yeah.
When Bob had to come and tell them, like, oh yeah, like Zoro's been arrested. Luke got into a fight with Kaido.
Oh my goodness.
Sanji is not recruiting anybody.
Yeah. One last question. Are you excited for the movie? Are you gonna go see it?
I do, because I heard a lot of it's gonna be canon.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And then having Uda in the latest episodes.
Yeah. Those episodes tie into the movie, and they have some big reveals from what I heard about Shanks.
Yeah, my husband sort of told me a spoiler, and I was so upset. I was like, I specifically, like, I literally, he's like, do you want a spoiler? I was like, no, I don't. And he just goes and said the spoiler. I'm like, did you just hear what I just said? I was like,
he's probably thinking it's not a big deal. I was like, this is the world of One Piece. Everything is a big deal.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I look at One Piece spoilers. I won't lie. I was like, I do, because I know I'll forget because they're so long. But I was like, that was one spoiler. I was so careful on social media. And I was like, you just said, and he's like, I thought that you didn't mind. I was like, I just said no. What else was I supposed to say?
I know. I have to explain to some of my friends who are just getting into One Piece. You know that one episode where you see like something in the background, you think it means nothing. 1,000 episodes later, it's going to mean a lot. Yes.
Oh my
so pay attention.
Get a notepad, write everything down, be like, yes, in this 497 episode on time 1603, this happened, and it's happening again.
Yeah. That is one time, despite the hate in the community of the who's better, Zoro or Sanji? I am grateful for the people that will share those things that they saw back in the, back in earlier chapters, but now, like, that has been really cool, especially how it's linked back to Skypiea and stuff like that, which I like the Skypiea art, but like, yeah, that I'm like, thank you, Twitter community. I'm like, you're coming through on this. I'm like, let's just keep the Twitter or the
let's
Zoro
stop
and
the feuding and the shipping feuds and the.
It's so ridiculous. I'm like, can we just appreciate all the Straw Hats despite who's your favorite here? You know what I mean? They're all great for their own reasons.
Straw Hat supremacy.
Thank you. That's what we need for everybody. Straw Hat supremacy. Done deal.
And I still don't think over. I don't think Law and Kid's gonna get away from the Straw Hats anytime soon. Law's gonna go on some island, come around the corner, and see Luffy stand there and go, crap.
Can we change the chip around, please?
That ending too with Kid, you knew he had to bait them one more time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Good times. Good times.
I am excited from those posts that the actors are doing. They just wrapped and they're kind of posting some of the things that they've done. And you see the guy playing, I guess, Sanji.
Yeah.
He's over here doing his routine of kickboxing, I guess. And it's like, it looks good. It's like, all right. We got people that are excited for their roles and they're actually doing their part to research them. I was like, please don't give me false hope. I mean, I'm getting hope from this.
Yeah,
it's like, I know Netflix's track record with some live action has been like, but I know Oda's heavily involved, so I'm hopeful there.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Me too.
So, and I think they've cast pretty well because a lot of people are like, well, no, they didn't cast right. I said, no, Oda has a list of who's everybody's nationality.
Yeah.
And they literally
Which I was surprised. I was like, Brazil?
Yeah. And then what was it? The guy, the cook who raised Sanji, the guy they got looks exactly like.
Yes. Yes, he does. Yeah. Yeah.
I saw like a silhouette. They took a picture on a beach of the silhouette of the guy as Shanks with like the black cape, but you can't see him because it's just the shadow. And I'm like, please have the red hair. That's all I've had.
Yeah.
Dye it red, spray painted on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still nervous with Nami though, because every time they show the actress, she doesn't have like the red hair, and I'm like,
yeah, I did see that too as well.
What color hair? Brown,
like a
black,
brownish blonde.
Yeah,
brownish blonde.
It's not
dirty blonde.
Yeah.
But I'm like, maybe she's got a wig. I'm just gonna wait and see. And there's nothing with Zoro. The guy who's playing Zoro is like pretty much like incognito.
Could it be that I do like learning about comic books? Like I was told, like the reason many people choose like redheaded people is because the red hair makes the color pop in a comic book. Could it be the same thing for an anime?
Well, I know a lot of the reasons with the comic book was a lot of the artists and creators back then were either related to somebody with red hair. It was more common where they came from to see people with red hair. So they would come up with like characters like MJ was pretty much based off Stanley's wife. So she was a redhead.
She only had one wife, right? He only had one wife? Oh, okay.
Same wife. But yeah, I've also heard about the color pop, but I don't know. Because I feel like the redheads are slowly like disappearing out of things.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife's a redhead, so yes, love them redheads.
We shall see. Hopefully we get a trailer soon for One Piece so we can
judge it accordingly. And most likely hate on it. Because no matter what, we can't be happy.
You know, Twitter will.
Yeah, that's what I say. Don't go on Twitter that day. Ban Twitter that day.
I think what everybody's nervous about is what are the powers going to look like? How CGI and are they going to look?
Yes, the powers are going to look really weird.
Because Luffy is like Mr. Fantastic times 1,000.
Yeah, I was going to say Miss Marvel, but I forgot about Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, his go way overboard, so it's going to be interesting. And then you have some of the looks you have to capture of some of the characters. That's going to be.
How's that third sword going to look?
I know that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's going to be just like maybe a mouthpiece, and then they'll CGI
a lot of cuts.
The blade.
like, oh, where'd that? Oh, hey, it's in his mouth now. Well, how do you? I didn't even
It's a
see
knife
it.
now.
So the kid they got sitting there in the like audition or wait, I have to what? I fought with 2 swords. Have you seen Rurouni Kenshin? But I have not.
Yeah.
3, that's gonna be interesting. No. But yeah. So I want to thank everybody for coming on the show today. I'm hoping to do this weekly, so if everybody's welcome to come back again and hopefully. But I want to say thank you. And again, if anybody has any ending comments, wants to let anybody know what's going on in their channels. Bianca, I know you weren't on earlier. Any videos, Bianca?
My indie video should be coming out this week. There wasn't a lot today because I did way too much last week and I should have just divided it. So I'm going to be looking at some more. But I should have a video out before Friday. I'm having an interview with a comic creator that's actually from my state, and I met her at a Comic-Con last year, I believe. She usually does comics on like rather Haitian history or Haitian mythology. She likes to add actual like Haitian Creole into her comic books, even though she says she doesn't know as much as her own son because the grandparents is what teaches the son the language. She will have like little notes on there and
nice.
like, this is what it means. And I'm like, thank you. I love it when people do that. And I have friends who are Haitian. So I do have some of her books already. So I love her books. So I'm going to have like a review out on that. And then we're deciding a schedule when to do the interview.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Otaku, you got anything?
For me, I am just, as the name suggests, I am training myself right now. I actually feel like I'm kind of in a rut too, to where it's like, I can start working on something right now. I was like, let me watch some more videos and just getting a lot of people's perspective on how they look at stuff, and that I want to be able to recommend something and be able to really break it down and sell it better.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
You can do it.
I think that's so admirable because me on my channel, I'm just like, we're just going to say we're not going to write a script and we're just going to go whatever goes in my brain. And that's not in a conventional way, but I get the most excited that way. So I think that's really awesome.
Yeah. That's a goal of mine too. It's like, instead of being somebody said it on my Instagram, they were like, you're just like the Yaz team, where like you're all hyped about a series and you just gush about it. But I'm like, yeah, but I need to get better about like talking about the characters and the plot and stuff like that, instead of just like, I love it, it's so good.
I'm like that with comic books, which is funny because I was actually into manga and anime first before I delved into comic books. So I was already like that with anime and manga, but for comic books, I'm like, I have to say something besides I like it. What do I say? But if people talk to me about anime, I'm like, okay, your taste is trash, and let me tell you why. That kind of stuff. I'm like, it's so different.
It's like me. I have to put the names down, or I'm like, oh crap!
Oh yes.
Name.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Have y'all watched Rick and Morty at all?
Yes,
I have not.
No, I haven't.
The creator's name is Dan Harmon, but it's a pretty funny series, and he's come up with what's called a story circle. He kind of tells you, he breaks down what a story should have, and that's what makes it great. And there is a video, if you look it up, Dan Harmon's story circle, and look up Christopher Nolan, he breaks down The Dark Knight into each one of these things, and it makes it really easy to digest. Like that, it's really interesting. So now I'm looking back at mangas, it's like, okay, that is exactly why I like this with this series here, and here. And
nice. I'm gonna be sending that video to everybody I know now.
Okay.
Carrie, did you share what you have coming up on your channel?
I have coming up on Friday, I am doing a review on an Image comic it's an indie comic called Dead Lucky. I don't know if anybody's familiar. There's Image is creating a superhero universe they call Supermassive. It's the Radiant Black characters. And this is the latest entry. And I'll have my review on Friday, and it's pretty much you don't need to read the other series to catch up on what's going on with this character in the first issue. So that's something else I like. So
Okay.
you don't need to go back and read everything else to find out what's going on with this character. But
Yeah.
I'll have my review on Friday for that.
Ooh, I can't wait. I love Radiant Black.
Yeah, Radiant Black is really good. Especially that first one with that twist.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get Tristan to read it. She hates Power Rangers. So she thinks it's going to be the same cookie cutter thing a Power Ranger show would have. And I'm like, it's not. You have to read till the ending. And she's like, but I'm not motivated. And I'm like, you're only on chapter 2.
Yeah, they have a costume that kind of comes off like Power Rangers and like color scheme like Power Rangers. But it's much more darker and
it's not cheesy.
Yeah, it's not cheesy. So yeah, if you're interested, it's called Radiant Black, and this one is called Dead Lucky. It's the latest. I think they're calling it the Supermassive Universe. I know there's also
Great
Rogue's
name.
One. I know. Well, there's a book called Supermassive that has most of the characters together in it. So
I said it's better than anything I would ever come up with, to be honest.
True. It's like, don't ask me. It's like, all these people are coming together. All right. Well, again, thank you, Laura, Marge. Do you have anything else you want to add, or?
No, I'm just kind of just reading a whole lot, and yeah, don't know what I'm gonna do on my channel next. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just continuing my series of reviews of what I read from, or the voting that I did of what manga should I read from the devotional Finding God anime. So I did a silent voice last week. This week I'm doing Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, and so I read. I eventually have Your Lie in April that's coming, and then Young of the Dawn's my next or my current goal. Read that and do a review of that one. So I think that's it really for me on exciting things going on, and looking forward to the first day of fall, which I found out was in September, and I was like, I thought it was October. So that's it.
And the next arc of One Piece.
Yes, I'm like so nervous. I was like, One Piece. I don't know. I was like, Haikyuu ended. I was like, I can't have One Piece ending. But I wonder with Haikyuu how it's ended and how Sensei has still celebrated the series, even with its like having ended. It leaves me hopeful that even when One Piece ends, I'm like, it won't end in. Like, hopefully, I'm like, Oda, you will come back to just share, like Sensei did, where we just had like this little free bonus chapter. I'm like, Oda, surely after all of these years and these characters living in your head, you're not just gonna like leave us forever and we'll never have even if it's just on One Piece Day where we just get one image of the whole crew, like that's okay. Like, so it leaves me
hopeful. To Japan and see all the statues. Just
oh my goodness, that'd be so cool. Like, there's a Haikyuu pop-up shop right now, and I told my husband, I was like, man, it's like if I was in Japan, it's like I'd be so broke. I was like, I just go travel to these places.
It's like I live here now because I can't afford to go home.
Yeah, for real. I was like, if the shipping wasn't so like outrageous to like get stuff, I have a friend that lives there, and I would ask her, like, Ellen, can you just get this for me? But I'm like, I can't justify paying $20 to $30 for shipping, no matter how much I love it so much. Like, especially I'm like, you didn't even pay that much for you in Japan. So yeah.
Well, again, thank you guys. And if anybody wants to check out their channels, I have their links down below in the subscription. Go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully we'll see you all again next week. And again, thank you, everyone. So
thanks for
have a
having
good night.
Thanks for having us.
You.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Bye.